what are the problems? What are the challenges when you bring these two words together, right? So there are various problems, So let's see, what challenges you will face when you have multiple analytics platforms in place. The very first thing, inability to meet business SLAs, right? Now, let's suppose if you are going with the big data and relational warehouse approach, it's not possible to achieve everything in one place, under one head, or under a single pane of glass, right? Big data will help you meet the SLAs in relations to data experimentation. Relational data warehouse will give you the business reporting stuff, right? So there are various challenges to meet, the overall business SLAs. There would be different architecture, different implementation, different securities in place, right? So that is one of the challenge. Second is lack of cohesive monitoring. When it comes to the relational warehouses, we usually populate them using some of the in-house ETL tools like SSIS, Informatica, or Talent, Alteryx, like that. So if you want to monitor those workloads, they have a different set of rules or protocols to monitor those workloads. When it comes to the big data, we talk about data lake integration, we talk about the pipelines, we talk about the different types of activities. So they have different type of monitoring stuff altogether. So they can't basically collaborate with each other, smoothly. Third is data and metadata silos. So when it comes to this, when you talk about the big data, I know my data is in semi-structured format. They have altogether different metadata, right? They have a different implementation. When it comes to relational databases, they have a different silos altogether. They have, what do you say? They have a relational model. They have a tabular structures, right? So they have a different implementation, which is hard to collaborate. Then incoherent security models, they all have different security implementations. If I talk about the on-premises models, relational warehouses, there you will be utilizing active directory-based security framework. When it comes to big data within the cloud services, you will be using managed identities, data vault integration. You would be using the row and columnar based securities. You will be using multi-factor authentication, threat detection alerts. So different approaches are there. So they cannot collaborate with each other. You cannot rely on a single security models when you have different platforms. Then you have inconsistent development experience. So again, as I said, in relational model, we talk about the dimensional modeling. You will be designing dimensions and facts. You will be connecting those using different types of schema structures, and then you will be populating them using an ETL tool. When it comes to the big data environment, it's just an ELT approach, right? So relational model follows ETL approach, extract, transform, and load. And when it comes to the big data implementation, we talk about the ELT approach, extract, load, and transform. So just extract the data from various sources, dump it into the data lake storage into a semi-structured format. And whatever data you need, whatever analysis you want to do, just transform those and consume it. Then next is diverged deployment strategies. So when I say relational model, it is mainly maintained in the on-premises environment, or if you want, you can also go to the cloud, but again, it is gonna be provisioned instances, where you have a certain deployment lifecycle. Now, when it comes to big data, it is gonna be totally different deployment, development and deployment lifecycle. And finally, need of serverless and provisioned. So when it comes to the relational data models, we mainly go with the provisioned approach, where we have a dedicated SQL or any other database instance up and running, which will be hosting your warehouse.